Welcome to Heartspace Yoga from Polykandros, Poly about. It's evening here in Greece and the sun is just going down. I've prepared a flow of yin and Hatha Yoga. So it's a little bit of Hatha, a little bit of yin, as always gentle. I have chosen easy ear plant today for beautiful open airways. I have always an emphasis on breathing during my sessions, so the easy air plant has specifically been formulated for better breathing. So I just rub this on my chest. And have a couple of nice deep inhalations. And let's come into our meditation pose. So you can either sit kneeling like I do. If you sit kneeling, you can always place your meditation cushion or the bolster underneath your seat for a bit more elevation, or you can sit cross-legged or long legs, whichever feels good. Again, you can have the bolster or the rolled up towels underneath your seat. Let's find a straight spine. Nice long spine aligned with the neck. The seat and the legs are grounding down. The eyes are softly closed. Face is softening. The hands can be resting naturally on your legs, or you can find your chin mudra, index fingers and thumbs together, palms facing up or down. And just taking a few moments arriving in your space with the eyes closed. If you like, you can have your free changing breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the open mouth. And finding your yogic nasal breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose if it's accessible. Nice deep inhalations, long and slow exhalations, really slowing that breath down. Working on depth of the breath. Slowing the speed of the breath. And just pay attention for a few moments how chest is rising and lowering with inhale and exhale, how the belly is moving in and out. Just doing our body skin next, observing how your face is feeling, softening the forehead consciously, the eyebrows, the eyes and your eye sockets. Releasing the teeth just ever so slightly so your jaw can fully relax. And if it feels okay for you, maybe even finding a little half smile on the face. Releasing the shoulders, you may want to give them a gentle roll upwards and backwards to find a bit more openness through chest and shoulders, a bit more length for the spine. Hands, arms, fingers, released, relaxed. Legs and feet releasing down into the mat. Observing where in your body you may be holding tension still. Releasing it with your exhale. Readjusting the body if needed. Noticing next which emotions are present for you. No judgment, just noticing. Noticing how busy your mind is, slowly starting to let go of the busy thinking, really trying to keep the attention on the breath, on the body throughout the whole session. If you find yourself getting distracted by thinking, thought patterns, mind chatter, just bring yourself back each time to your breath, to your body. Happens to all of us. Briefly checking in with your senses, observing noises outside, inside, and just allowing them to be there, whatever it is, and allowing it to be in the background noise. Observing smells, sense of smell. Observing withdrawn sense of sight. Closed eyes as a sense of comfort, sense of discomfort. And the sense of touch. Fingers touching legs, legs touching floor. If you like, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart space, and I invite you to set an intention for your session or make a dedication to yourself or someone else, taking a few moments' time. When you're ready, you can release hands back to your legs, and we are going to do a pranayama, a breathing exercise next. It will be alternate nostril breathing. So we are finding the two peace fingers on our right hand, index and middle finger. We're placing them in between our eyebrows on our forehead. So the two peace fingers of the right hand in between the eyebrows on your third eye. We are going to use our thumb to close the right nostril and the ring finger to close the left nostril. Little finger is disengaged, doing nothing. So let's close the right nostril with our thumb, inhaling through the left nostril. Closing left nostril with ring finger, opening right nostril and exhaling. Inhaling through right nostril. Closing right side with thumb, opening left, exhale through the left. Inhaling through the left. Closing left, opening right, exhale. Inhaling through the right. Closing right, opening left, exhale. Inhaling left. Closing left, exhaling right. Carry on in your own time with your own breath for a few more rounds, just exploring your own breathing capacity. Try to extend the inhale, the exhale, really slow and steady. Alternate nostril breath, helps us to calm the nervous system, extend lung capacity, oxygenate blood, synchronize left and brain hemispheres. Lots of benefits to alternate nostril breathing. If you have got any restrictions in your sinuses, you could just sit in meditation and without doing the left and right, or you could just do it without your fingers as an alternative. Just imagining inhaling for the right, exhaling for the left. Let's finish on the right side with an exhalation. Finishing your round in your own time. And we're going to release the right hand back to our legs. Let's carry on with gentle loosening of the neck, releasing neck towards the right, back, left and front. Circles of the neck in one direction. Towards the right, back, left and front. Just gently exploring flexibility of the neck. And switching sides towards left, back, right and front. And coming back to center, releasing arms by your side, nice big shoulder rolls, backwards, downwards, forwards, upwards. Really exploring that full rotation in the shoulder joint. I use these warm up movements in almost every session because pretty much everybody I know holds some tension in shoulders and neck. And switching direction forwards. Let's come back to center. Let's come into a side stretch next. So we're bringing the right hand by our right side and the left arm reaches up and over our head. You can slide that right hand along on the floor to find your perfect positioning. The left hand reaches up and over our heads with a palm facing down towards the floor. Be mindful that your right shoulder is aligned with the left, not dropping backwards, so we're not slumping backwards through the right side. If the left arm reaching up and over your head feels uncomfortable, you can place it up and around your lower back instead. So we are softening into that right side body, opening left side body. So find your adjustment there that feels good in your body. The eyes can stay closed whenever you feel comfortable, really just feeling into the sensations of your own body. Breath is still deep and slow. Each inhalation you find more length through that upper arm, for the left side body, breathing into that left lung deeply. Each exhalation you soften towards the right side. Right elbow can even bend a little to accommodate for that softening towards the right. And next inhalation, you're switching sides. Left hand coming towards the left side, just by your left hip. And the right arm up and over your head, palm facing down. Again, being mindful that the left shoulder is not dropping backwards, stays nice and aligned with the right shoulder. If the arm up and over your head doesn't feel right, you can just wrap it up and around your lower back. So finding the adjustment that feels right for you. Face is nice and soft, breath deep and slow. And coming back to center. Seated twist. We are placing right hand behind ourselves on a mat quite close to the seat. And the left hand coming onto our right leg, left hand to right leg. On the inhalation, we are feeling up through the spine, through the crown. On the exhalation, softening into your twist. Gazing up and over your right shoulder. The shoulder is always moving first The neck coming next. Breath is deep. Each inhalation lengthening upwards, each exhalation softening into the twist. Never forceful, always gentle, slow. And next exhalation back to center. We are placing the left hand behind our seat now on the floor, on your prop. Right hand on left leg. On the inhalation, lengthening up. Exhalation, looking up and over left shoulder. Each inhalation lengthening through spine, through crown. Each exhalation feeling into your twist, softening. Make sure that back hand is not too far away from the body, falling backwards usually if the hand is too far away from your seat. And coming back to center. Let's remove our prop if we have got one underneath. We place it to the side somewhere. And let's come onto all fours for a cat and cow. So in cat and cow we have wrists and shoulders aligned, so the wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, the knees are directly underneath the hips, the toes are nice and flat. On the inhalation we are looking up, releasing the spine down. On the exhalation we are tucking chin in and spine up. Inhaling, looking up, spine releases down. I always like to wiggle the hips just ever so slightly. Exhaling, tucking chin in, spine coming up. You can close your eyes and just flow with your own intuitive movement. Sometimes the breath feels more intuitive the other way around. So just flowing one breath, one movement. I like to move head up, spine down on the inhale. Exhale, tucking chin in, spine up. Coming back to center for balance, cat and cow balance. We're bringing right fingertips forwards, left toes backwards. So the right fingertips forwards on the mat, left toes backwards on the mat. The left wrist, left shoulder are aligned, right knee, right hip are aligned. On the inhalation, you bring right arm up, left leg up. Balancing, navel is drawing in towards the spine. And on the exhalation, if you feel steady enough, you can bring elbow and knee together. Inhaling, stretching out. Exhaling, elbow and knee together. Inhaling, stretching out. Just flowing with your breath. If both arms and legs are too much, you could just do arm or just leg. So just doing one at a time is perfectly fine if you can both at the same time. Opposite arm and leg. One more and coming back to center. Switching sides. We're bringing left fingertips forwards, right toes backwards. And then if you can, up with the left arm, right leg. Finding your balance, drawing navel into its spine. Exhalation, we're bringing elbow and knee together underneath the belly. Inhaling, stretching out. Exhaling, elbow and knee together. Inhaling, stretching out. Last one. And coming back to center. Let's walk our big toes together, knees apart, and stretching out in a nice long child's pose with the arms extended. Softening the seat towards the heels, forehead on the mat. Each inhalation, you lengthen the fingertips forwards. Each exhalation, you release the seat backwards. Finding nice length through the upper body, softness through the hips. And coming back up onto all fours, we're curling the toes and then preparing for a down dog. So the hands are forwards from the shoulders. We are always spreading fingers and the whole surface of a hand is firmly pushing into the mat. The toes are curling under and we are stepping back into a down dog. I always like to walk my feet out, one at a time, bending one knee at a time, or you can come up onto tippy toes, releasing heels down, whichever feels good, or you can just be still in your down dog. We make sure that the heart space, the shoulders release back and down towards the mat, neck is completely relaxed. Nice length from fingertips to tailbone. And next inhalation, we are walking or stepping forwards. Feet are hip width apart, full forward fold. So completely releasing the upper body down. The legs are long and strong, slight micro bend. In the knees, the toes are nice and spread, fully connected with the mat. And on the inhalation, we are slowly, gently peeling spine off the mat, coming straight, reaching the arms up and over our head. Back bend if you like. And bringing hands back to heart space. Closing the eyes and gathering your breath. Observing heartbeat, slowing the breath, feeling into your steadiness, standing pose. Releasing your arms by your side. Leaving the eyes closed and finding your proper standing pose. So feet hip width apart, toes spread, soles of the feet firmly connected in the mat. The knees have a slight micro bend, a little bit of softness in the knees. Pelvis in its natural extension, not tucked in. Spine long and strong, the chest is nice and open, the arms hanging softly by your side. Face is soft, jaw relaxed. Inhaling, we're reaching up. Palms together up and over your head, back bend if you like. And coming into a full forward fold once more, releasing the spine down, folding from your hips. Hands can be on the mat, or you can bring hands to elbows, gently rocking yourself side to side. Or you could wrap the hands around your heels. Nice elevation through the tailbone. Let's bring the hands in front of the toes and step back into a plank pose. In plank pose, we place our wrists underneath the shoulders, whole surface of the hand pushing into the mat. The feet hip width apart and the pelvis is slightly elevated but not higher than the shoulders. Navel is engaged, drawing in towards the spine. And you can actively push back through your heels forwards through the crown of the head. Spending a few breaths there. If full plank is too intense, you can place knees down and toes flat, half plank. So find the plank that suits you and spend a couple more breaths there. It's great pose to build your abdominal strength, arm strength. Let's all place our knees down, toes flat, and we're coming into chaturanga, bending the elbows and the chin and chest coming down first, the pelvis last. Onto our bellies, the hands underneath shoulders. Hands are only very softly engaged in the mat, not pushing hard. On the inhalation, we're coming up, cobra. Exhalation down. Inhalation up. And exhalation down. Just a couple more in your own time. On the inhale, we are coming up. Not using the hands, we're using the strength of our belly, our back to bring ourselves up and down. Last one. And exhaling down, curling toes under and stepping back into a down dog once more. If you're tired, you could do child's pose instead. So if you feel right, down dog. If you feel tired, child's pose. Few breaths here. focusing on the length in the upper body, fingertips to tailbone. And let's step our right foot forwards in between our hands. Right foot forwards in between our hands, left knee to the mat. In our lunge pose, I like to have both hands on the inside. You could also have one hand either side of the foot. I personally prefer both hands on the inside for lunge. So in lunge pose, we want to have knee aligned with the ankle of the right foot. And the left side, we are gently releasing forwards through that left hip, forwards and downwards. Hands are supporting. And just hold there for a few breaths. You can release that right knee out sideways slightly to explore the different flexibility in your hip. So the right knee can drop out towards the right side and you can just come onto the edge of the right foot. And bringing the right sole of the foot back firmly on the mat. And let's walk the hands backwards and come into a runner stretch. So the right leg now becomes extended. We can sit back towards our left here. The hands can support in the mat. The right toes can point backwards towards your body. So nice and flexed foot. The heel reaches away, toes reach inwards. It's a stretch of the right lower leg, hamstring. And into a dynamic movement forwards into lunge. Couple of breaths here. Stretching the left upper leg, quad, and then exhaling back into runner stretch. Couple of breaths here. We do that once more. Coming forwards into lunge, stretching left quad, and coming back into a hamstring stretch. Right leg extended. Foot flexed, right foot flexed. So reaching away with a heel, toes pointing backwards. If you want it deeper, you could even lower forehead to the right knee. And then coming back forwards into lunge. Curling your left toes under, back toes curling under and stepping back, down dog. Walking your legs out one at a time. Finding flexibility in the hips again. And stepping left leg forwards in between hands, right knee to the mat. So we are finding our lunge pose here on the left side. So left knee is aligned with left ankle. Again, I like to have both hands on the inside, so I just walk my left foot out towards the left a bit. The right hip releases forwards and downwards, so we can really stretch that right quad muscle now. If you like, you can again experiment with flexibility of the left hip, coming on to the outer edge of the left foot and releasing your left knee outwards slightly. Only if it feels good though. A few breaths here. Lunge pose, left side. And coming backwards into a runner stretch. So we're walking the hands backwards and extending left leg. Bring one hand either side of the front leg now. So it's a stretch for the left hamstring. You can flex your left foot, toes pointing backwards, heel away from the body. You can sit back towards your heels. You can walk the hands forwards, bring the forehead towards the knee for more intensity, upwards for less intensity. And forwards into a lunge. Stretching right quad. Always a few breaths either way so the body can relax into the pose. Coming back into runner stretch once more. Flexing left foot, sitting back towards right heel. Forehead can release towards the left knee if you want it more intense. And coming forwards into a lunge. Stretching right quad and coming back. Once more, runner stretch, last time. And forwards. Lunge. You're curling back toes under, right toes curl under, both hands connect with the mat and stepping the left leg backwards into a down dog once more. Again, you can walk your legs out one at a time. Stretching upper body, fingertips to tailbone, hands firmly connected in mat. Shoulders, heart space, releasing back and down into the mat, neck fully relaxed, tailbone reaching up towards the ceiling. Next inhalation, we are walking or jumping forwards. Feet hip width apart, full forward fold. Releasing fully from the hip, upper body, fully relaxed, legs long and strong, feet hip width apart, toes spread, knees slightly bent. Next inhalation, spine is coming up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms reaching up and over your head, palms together, back bend if you like. And hands back into heart space. Having a few breaths here. Steadying your breath, your heartbeat. Noticing the effect the movements have on your body. Face is soft. Breath deep, slow. Exhaling, releasing arms by the side. Inhaling, reaching up, back bend if you like. Exhaling, chair pose, find a chair pose, sitting down into that imaginary chair. Hands can be in heart space or reaching up by your ears, palms facing each other, whichever feels better. A few breaths here, chair pose, strengthening the legs. And exhaling, full forward fold. Once more, finding a placement for your hands that feels right. Wrapped around heels on the mat, hands to elbows, whatever feels right. Sometimes interlacing the hands behind your neck can decompress the spine. Placing hands into the mat, we are stepping back into plank pose once more. Wrists underneath shoulders, feet hip width apart, pushing back through the heels, forwards through the crown of the head, pelvis slightly elevated but not higher than the shoulders. If full plank is too much, place your knees down, toes flat into a half plank. Spending a few breaths here once more. Navel drawing in towards the spine. Couple of more breaths if you can. Next exhalation, all knees down, all toes flat. Coming into chaturanga, chin and chest coming down first. Pelvis last onto bellies. And again cobra, hands underneath shoulders. And we're doing dynamic cobra again on the inhalation. We're coming up. Exhalation down. Just very soft engagement in the hands, no pushing in the hands. Exhaling down. You can also have your hands alongside the body. And coming up on the inhale, exhale down. Last one. And exhaling down, hands underneath shoulders, curling toes under and stepping back. Down dog. Find your down dog. Few breaths and down dog. Still or walking legs out or coming onto tippy toes, releasing heels down. Whichever feels right. Let's step right leg forwards in between our hands, left knee to floor, left toes flat. We're coming into a pigeon pose here, a longer held one. So you can walk your right foot up and over towards the left. Right foot is walking up and over towards the left. And we are releasing that right leg in a triangle shape in front of our body. The back leg can be straight or bent. You can choose. So left leg bent or straight. Sometimes it can feel nice to have a bit of support underneath that right seat. So if you find that your hips are bent towards one side, you can just tuck something under your right seat. Another support that you can use under the upper body is a yoga bolster. I don't have one at the moment, so I have just rolled up a blanket, and you could snuggle yourself into that blanket. So making yourself nice and comfortable. If you don't have a blanket or props, you don't have to worry about them. You could just be without. The hands can support the forehead or they can be outstretched, whichever feels good. So it's a stretch for our right glute muscle, right hip, right knee, right ankle. You could also support your head with your hands if you want a bit more elevation. Back leg straight or bent, whichever feels good. Pigeon pose for a few breaths. Softening the body, releasing. Not only work on the flexibility of the joints here, but also on the extension of connective tissue by holding for longer than 2 minutes. Making sure your breath is slow and steady. Allowing thoughts to float away like clouds in the sky. Each exhalation is softening a bit deeper into the body. Each time you come into a new pose, observing how the body is responding. Is the pose accessible? If it's not accessible, just lie back. Rest it out. Never being forceful. Let's bring our hands into the mat for an upright pigeon. So we are still staying in the pose, just without the hands, just with the hands supporting in the mat. So the hands are pushing into the mat now, and the spine is upright. The hips, the legs releasing down into the mat. If it's accessible, you may want to try to interlace the hands behind the back and reaching back and out through hands. Let's bring hands back to the mat, curling the back toes under, left foot toes curling under, and we are very slowly releasing back and up into a down dog. Walking the legs out super slow, very gentle and slow transition. So walking one leg out in your down dog at the time. And when you feel ready, you can step left leg forwards, right knee to floor, right toes flat. Again, we're going to transition into a pigeon pose on the other side. So we are going to walk the left foot up and over towards the right. Left foot up and over towards right. Releasing that left leg into that triangle shape in front of you. Back foot straight or bend. Again, if you want, you could have that towel underneath your left seat. And you could have your yoga bolster in front if you have got one to snuggle in or push in. You don't need anything if you don't have anything. It just can create a bit more comfort. You can have your hands in prayer on the mat or outstretched. Or you can have your hands supporting your face or forearms together and resting forehead on forearms. So just experiment what feels good for you. Again, they are aiming for 2 minutes here. Tuning in with your breath, with the body, extension of left hip, knee, ankle, glute. Softening each exhalation. Next inhalation, coming up. Slowly, gently, upright pigeon. So we are still staying in the pose. Just with the hands supporting in the mat, spine upright, hips, legs releasing down into the mat. Noticing how different the upright pigeon feels from the one that's lower to the floor. And again, if you like, you can try and interlace the hands behind the back and reaching up through the hands, opening the shoulders and chest. Bringing hands back to the mat and curling the back toes under, the right toes curling under. And we're stepping back very gently, slowly into a down dog once more. Walking out legs. Breath is deep. When we're walking, hands forwards, legs forwards. Legs are walking forwards towards the hands, feet hip width apart. Find your full forward fold. And walking the feet a little bit further apart on a slight angle. So the feet are now at the outer edge of the mat and slightly angled. And we're coming into squat, forward fold, dynamic flow. So on the inhalation, the pelvis comes down, the spine up, squat. On the exhalation, full forward fold. Inhaling squat. Exhaling full forward fold. Hands can stay on the mat. And just flowing with your own breath. Inhaling squat. Exhaling full forward fold. Just coming down into your seat as far as it's accessible. You can gaze up towards the sky when you do your squat. And exhaling, full forward fold. Last one. Coming into a squat, and if you can bring your hands into your heart space. I like to push my knees into the upper arms, the palms nice and firm together. And just having a few breaths here. And releasing your squat, you can bring your hands behind yourself and come into a seat. And from here, let's come onto our backs for a couple more poses on our back. So lying back onto the mat, you can hug your knees in just for a moment, giving your spine a little roll, left and right. And let's bring the feet in front of our seat. So feet are hip width apart, right in front of your seat. The arms are coming nice and wide. Arms nice and wide out from the shoulders. And let's bring the right leg up and over the left leg, right leg up and over left leg. And let's release the knees towards the left, knees releasing towards the left. If you need support, again you can grab your bolster, hip it underneath your knees for support. The right shoulder is releasing down towards the mat, left shoulder releasing down towards the mat. So it's a nice and grounded situation through both arms, shoulders, upper body. With your neck you can experiment looking out towards the left, up towards the sky, or up and over towards the right. Where does your neck feel at its best, most comfortable, nice extension? And just softening the body for a few breaths into the twist. Each exhalation, try to soften the body a little bit more. Each inhalation, extending the chest. Next inhalation, bringing knees back to center and doing your legs. If you're using your bolster, you can bring it up and over to the other side for support. The arms stay spread and bringing the left leg up and over right. So left leg up and over right. And we're releasing the knees towards the right side. Gaze can come up towards the left or towards the sky or towards the right, whichever feels best. Nice open chest, both shoulders connected with the mat. Each inhale, nice open chest. Each exhale, softening the body, knees, hips, into the twist. Most of the twisting poses in yoga practice support detoxification of the body, compressing organs in the twist and releasing on the exhalation. The body can carry things out that we need to get rid of. It's like wringing out the body, keeping the spine flexible, extending the muscular system in the upper body, fingertips to fingertips. And bringing these back to center, undoing your legs. Again, if you like, you can hug your knees in to the chest, giving your spine a little roll. Alternatively, you can also come into a happy baby pose, grabbing the soles of the feet from the outside, releasing the knees towards the mat, and rolling or just holding still. So both a nice counter pose after the twist. And let's bring our soles of the feet together for a lying butterfly. So the legs are in a nice diamond shape, nice and wide diamond shape. So the legs can either be really, or the heels really close to the pelvis. That's a deeper engagement for the hips. If you slide the feet away from the pelvis, it releases the engagement in the hips just slightly. So whatever feels good. It's getting pretty chilly here in Greece. The sun has just gone down. So I'm going to cover myself up with a blanket. You can do that at home as well if it's cold. Hands, you can bring the left hand over heart, right hand over belly, or the other way around if that feels more intuitive. I like left hand over heart, right over belly. And really observing that deep and slow breath. Notice how slow you can make your breathing, how deep you can make it. Noticing how your hips are feeling, if you need to readjust the feet closer to the pelvis or further away. Releasing the knees out towards the side, down towards the floor. Next exhalation, straightening the legs completely out, preparing you for your Savasana, full resting pose. So a cushion can come underneath your head if you've got one. Blanket can come up and over your body if you've got one, need one. The arms relaxing by your side, palms facing up or down, or you can keep your hands on heart and belly or both on the belly. You can now let go of the deep and conscious breath, just coming back to your natural breathing, releasing the whole body into the mat, into the floor. Face is nice and soft, half smile on your face if it feels good. Neck is nice and relaxed, the shoulders dropping back into the mat, chest nice and open, arms, hands, fingers fully relaxed, torso, pelvis releasing into the mat, legs, feet, toes fully relaxed. Whole body is at ease now. There's no more doing, just being, just allowing yourself to be for a few more moments. You can stay here for 5-10 more minutes. I'm going to leave you here. Try to have a few minutes of rest. Relaxation, Savasana is the most beneficial pose of the yoga practice. That's when the body does its healing work. It's detoxification. So stay here for as long as it feels good for you. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.